Good afternoon. Call the committee to order and welcome everybody today for confirmations. And y'all please be patient with me as I find my way through this as a new committee. So could I ask the clerk to please call the roll?
Senator Wagner.
Here.
Senator Allen. Senator Chambliss. Senator Figures. Senator Gavan. Senator Gudger. Senator Hatcher. Senator Jones. Senator Price. Senator Sessions. Senator Shelnut. Senator Stutz. Senator Singleton. Senator Smitherman. Senator Williams. Senator Livingston.
Present.
11.
11 members being present, we have a quorum and we can conduct business. So would the clerk call the first confirmation?
I have Mr. Jeff Gronberg. The governor appoints Mr. Jeff Gronberg to the University of Alabama System Board of Trustees.
Yes, sir. Senator Smitherman.
I move that we confirm.
I second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Good. I was late.
A motion by Senator Smitherman and seconded by Senator Allen. So I guess we need to take a roll call vote on the first one. So clerk call the roll.
Senator Wagner. Aye. Senator Allen. Aye. Senator Chambliss. Aye. Senator Figures.
Aye.
Senator Gavan. Aye. Senator Gudger. Aye. Senator Hatcher. Aye. Senator Jones. Senator Price. Aye. Senator Sessions. Aye. Senator Shelnut. Senator Stutz. Aye. Senator Singleton. Senator Smitherman.
Aye.
Senator Williams. Aye. Senator Livingston.
Aye. Shelnut's an aye also.
Okay.
So 12. 14 to 0. Mr. Gronberg is recommended to the floor. Would you like to say a couple of words, Jeff, while you're here?
Sure. Senators, thank you very much for your confidence. I do look forward to serving on the system board and trying to see what we can do from a University of Alabama, UAH, UAB, and UAB healthcare system to continue to improve the state, the nation, and the world. And so thank you very much for your confidence.
Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Chambliss.
as a fellow engineer, I welcome Mr. Gronberg to the Board of Trustees, and y'all just know we're taking over. Give us time.
So beware of the engineer year, is that right?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Senator Gavan.
well, first of all, good luck getting past us lawyers. Second of all, I will point out to our chairman that Mr. Gronberg was is now one of my constituents, but I do think he's a little sad that he's not yours anymore, but he's one of those good Keel Mountain folks.
Well, he's a good fella, so I appreciate that. So would the clerk call the second conferee?
The governor appoints Mr. W. Davis Malone to the University of Alabama System Board of Trustees.
Any conversation or a motion to approve?
So move.
Have a motion to approve by Senator Sessions and Senator Gavan. So all in favor of using previous roll, if no objection? Add Senator Jones to the roll, so that would be 14 and 0. So congratulations, Mr. Malone, and I don't think he's with us today. Reappointment, yes, thank you. Senator.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
It's sad to say this. I'm trying to recognize, and maybe that young man who's over here from the governor's office. Are you still in there? Yeah. Okay. You go right on. I got to talk to him. Y'all go right on.
All right, thank you, sir. Would the clerk call the third conferee?
The governor appoints Scott M. Phelps to the University of Alabama System Board of Trustees.
Mr. Chairman, I move acceptance.
We have a motion from Senator Allen, a seconded by Senator Chambliss. This is a reappointment to the committee. There's no conversation. All in favor of using the previous roll with no objection? All right, okay. Previous roll, and Mr. Phelps is confirmed. Would clerk read the fourth conferee?
The governor appoints Mr. W. Stancil Storns to the University of Alabama System Board of Trustees.
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Smith?
I had a question, and I don't know which one of the people from the board of University of Alabama can answer this question for me. But normally, I get information regarding diversity, on the boards. But Alabama's not on your list. Look at it. Is it?
Yes, sir. It should be in your packet on the third page back. Yes, sir.
The third page back?
Third page, the third staple page.
Oh, okay. 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 All right. I got it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Oh, it's in my packet?
It should be in your packet. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just take your first one out and look at it there. So,
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Starnes is also a reappointment motion by Senator Sessions.
Second.
Second by Senator Smitherman. All in favor of using previous roll, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign, nay. Mr. Starnes is approved, so.
Mr. Chairman, I would just encourage them to keep working on diversity.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
University-
Senator.
I would
So,
encourage them to keep working on it.
point noted, I see heads nodding, so. Would the clerk call the fifth conferee?
The governor reappoints Mr. Allen Owen III to the Troy University Board of Trustees.
This is also a reappointment, so.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Allen makes a motion. Is there a second? Second by Senator Chambliss. All in favor of using previous roll without objection, say aye. Aye. Like sign, nay. Mr. Owen is referred to the Senate. Mr. Owen, is that right? They're all the same one. They're all the same one. Okay. Okay, sorry, excuse me. So, would you call the next conferee?
The governor reappoints Mr. Roy Drinkard to the Troy University Board of Trustees.
Mr. Drinkard is a reappointment, and I had a phone call from his office this morning that he, at the age of 102, is closing a business deal today. So he was unable to be with us.
He's one of my constituents. I would like to make the motion for Roy Drinker to be reappointed using previous role.
Senator Gudger makes a motion. Is there a second by Senator Gavan? Any discussion? All in favor of using previous role, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign, nay. Senator Singleton, would you like to be added to that role? Thank you. Clerk, call the next conferee.
The governor appoints Mr. Gibson Vance to the Troy University Board of Trustees.
I make a motion that we give him favorable report, please.
Make a motion
second.
by Senator Figurs and seconded by Senator Smitherman. All in favor of using the previous role, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign, nay. And I think Mr. Vance is with us today. Mr. Vance, you'd like to say something?
Happy to be here. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Chairman, moment of personal privilege. Here, last time he was here, not too long ago, it was a real struggle to get him through this committee. So I'm glad to see that he's improved and things were better and it's unanimous today. So thank you, Mr. Vance.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Smitherman.
However, there's always a caveat, and the caveat is that he's, what Senator said, he's absolutely right. He was the chairman, and he knows that he's right what he just said. But the caveat is that y'all got some serious work on diversity. Troy got some serious work, and they know that. I've made that clear in my communications, and they are supposed to be working on that. So I just want to say that it hadn't been gone unnoticed that they're in bad shape. So I just want them to know that they need to come up. You know, I mean, either way you look at it, you know, it needs to come up.
I think they understand that, Senator, and we will remember that in the future, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Clerk Clerk, call the next conferee.
The governor appoints Mr. William Ainsworth to the Auburn University Board of Trustees.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move that we confirm Mr. William Ainsworth to the Auburn University Board of
We have a
Trustees.
motion
For a
and
move
a
of
second.
diversity, you need some diversity on that. I second that. You need a little diversity on that. I'll second it.
All right. So all in favor of using previous role, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign, nay. Congratulations, Mr. Ainsworth. That's a 15-0 vote. Would you like to have a few words?
I just want to thank everybody for, your support. I look forward to serving in Auburn with a great bunch of trustees and just excited about the opportunity, so thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming and joining us today. Would the clerk like to call the next conferee?
The governor reappoints Mr. Robert Dumas to the Auburn University Board of Trustees.
Senator Gavan? Motion for favorable
Second.
by Senator Gavan, seconded by Senator Price. All in favor of using previous role, say aye. Like sign, nay. Mr. Dumas is sent to the confirmations to the floor. Clerk, call the next roll, please. Conferee.
The governor reappoints Mr. Jimmy Rain to the Auburn University Board of Trustees.
We have two motions and a movement over here, so so Senator Price, Senator Sessions, all in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign, nay. Then Jimmy Rain is appointed or sent to confirmations full Senate. Both Mr. Dumas and Mr. Rain are in Washington with the university. They're making their federal research pleas today, so they apologize for not being able to be here today. Calling on next conferee.
The governor appoints Ms. Kathy Madison to the Career and Technical Education Textbook Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that we give her favorable report for
Senator Figurs
confirmation.
makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second for Senator Jones. All in favor of using previous role, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign, nay.
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Smithman.
if you know, you could tell me. If not, if somebody out there from this, what exactly do they do? Anybody out there? One of the possible appointees? I mean,
Textbooks Commission, I actually think that the majority of these in the textbook group are expiring in June of this year. They have already done their work, if I remember correct. Is that right, Mr. Bass?
Yes, sir. They've done their work to go through the different textbook curriculum for those different pods.
So what do? They go through the textbook curriculums?
Choose textbooks for grades 6 through 12.
Okay, I was thinking that was it. They just got the fancy stuff up at career tech and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to just take 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
I would like to be able to, in the future, just like we do with these trustees, have a chance to have a conversation with these people. I don't care if it's Zoom. I think it's important because if these people are going to be the people to make those decisions, and I'm going to make a point of reference to everybody in here when I say this, and you're going to know where I'm coming from. If we can be proud and feel comfortable and feel good, and I did and I do, let me say that first of all, passing a resolution in Women's History Month, the one that we passed on the floor. Y'all remember that? Everybody remember the resolution we passed on the floor for Women's History Month? Y'all remember that? That's where our textbooks need to look. It talked about black women who had done something in this state. It talked about white women who had done something in this state. And these books do not reflect the same thing that we as a body embraced in a resolution. So I want to have some talk with these folks because we got a state with 30% African Americans who have contributed everything down the line, and they're excluded from our books in these areas in which we highlight the accomplishments or the experiments that people have done in this state. Okay? So everybody, you know it, I know it. Wasn't in your books when you went to school, wasn't in mine neither. So that's what I'm saying. It's time that we do just what we did on that floor. Have an inclusive history of the people in this state, of all of us. And I look forward to having these people, talking to them on this committee and working with you all to ensure that that takes place. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Point well taken, Senator, and we will make sure that that happens next time around. So,
thank you.
Would the clerk call the next conferee?
The governor appoints Mr. Shane Cobb to the Career and Technical Education Textbook Committee.
Have a motion from favorable by Senator Shelnut. Is there a second? Second by Senator Gudger. All in favor of using previous role, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign, nay. The conferee is referred to the full Senate, so would you call the next conferee?
The governor appoints Mr. Lance Hunter to the Career and Technical Education Textbook Committee.
Motion for favorable by Senator Shelnut. Is there a second? Second by Senator Allen. All in favor of using previous role, if no objection, say aye. Like sign, nay. And
Mr. Chairman,
Senator?
can the appointment secretary tell us what is the racial makeup and gender makeup on this board?
The diversity is on your sheet there, but I'm not sure about,
I know, but I'm asking him.
okay.
Tell everybody.
22% for this committee.
22% for,
Minority representation on this committee.
and female?
I would have to do quick math, but I can come up with that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Senator. Would the clerk call the next conferee?
The governor appoints Ms. Nancy Dixon to the Career and Technical Education Textbook Committee.
Is there a motion to approve? A motion by Senator Gudger. Is there a second, Senator Sessions? All in favor of using previous role, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign, nay. And Ms. Dickinson is referred to the Senate. Would the clerk call the next conferee?
The governor appoints Mr. Paul Moran to the Career and Technical Textbook Committee.
Is there a motion? Senator Shelda has a motion. Is there a second? Second by Senator Jones. All in favor of using previous role without objection? Like sign, nay. So Mr. Moran is sent to the Senate. Would you call the next conferee?
The governor appoints Ms. Harolyn Fennell Benjamin to the Career and Technical Education Textbook Committee.
Senator Shelnut.
Senator figures, if my math's correct, is 4 out of 9, which is about 44%. But, you know, I'm not very good at math, so for female. But I move for favorable.
Mr. Chairman?
And Senator Hatcher.
I didn't want to disturb the vote, but I do want to echo what Senator Smitherman has mentioned. I'm looking at this list, and it makes me, certainly as an educator on this committee, uncomfortable because I know there's an active educational gag order in probably 15 states. We all know this. And that I think the Penn Index report on textbooks is indicating that we have upwards of about 2,500 books that have been banned. I have very real concern about that, and I'm personally uncomfortable with. I don't know these individuals. I don't know their stand on critical inquiry that makes it possible for our young people to at least have the ability to make some judgment about things. It's about as bad as us making decisions in this state to have a resolution for Juneteenth, but we can't teach people about why. So it's very important, I believe, to because these are really disturbing patterns of silence, and we've seen people, the historians in the room. We've been down this path, and I do know that when it comes down to textbooks, history dictates to me that a a certain lady by the name of Mildred Lewis Rutherford was very instrumental in making sure that information was not in textbooks, even about the Civil War and the real causes and the lost cause. So I think this is very important, what Senator Smitherman has raised, and I would love to, next time around, if that possibility exists, to meet with these folks, because unfortunately, the times that we're living in right now have dictated that we need to know who we're voting on for this type of thing, because I can't say to my constituents that I was complicit in placing people on these committees who might not necessarily believe in what I'm calling academic freedom and the opportunity for our young people to be able to have critical thinking skills, critical inquiry around issues of importance that matters to how we're going to continue as a country. So I need to put that out there because there's an active, and you all know this, about 15 states who engage in this educational gag order of some sorts. So thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. And I've had a nod from Mr. Bass out there, so we'll make sure that we have a little more information and have opportunity to have a conversation, if nothing but other by Zoom, before we do more. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Senator. We did not have a second on this last conferee, so is there a second from Senator Jones? All in favor say aye. Like sign nay. Would the clerk call the next conferee?
The governor appoints Mr. Eric Fulmer to the Career and Technical Education Textbook Committee.
A motion from favorable by Senator Shelnut and seconded by Senator Chambliss. All in favor of using previous role of no objection, say aye. Aye. Like sign nay. Then Mr. Fulmer is sent to the Senate. Would the clerk call the next conferee?
The governor appoints Ms. Sherry Webb Deloach to the Career and Technical Education Textbook Committee.
Have a motion for favorable by Senator Shelnut. Is there a second? Second by Senator Chambliss. All in favor of using previous role, if no objection? Aye. Like sign nay. Then is sent to the full Senate additional. Would you please call the next conferee, please?
The governor appoints Mr. Brian Nodder to the Career and Technical Textbook Committee.
Have a motion from favorable by Senator Shelnut and seconded by Senator Gavan. All in favor of using the previous role, if no objection, say aye. Aye. Like sign nay. And then Mr. Nodder is sent to the Senate also. So I think that's the end of our committee today. Thank you all for coming. Our conferees, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.